area.
So you're really asking that development looks from a very different perspective. Often development is done in terms of traffic. Often traffic dictates development. And you really say we need to think water and how water is treated, a very different approach.
Right, and that's why we call this as a water-oriented approach. So basically you're following the hydrology on what the hydrology is telling you in terms of development. And it's very interesting to see the overlap between the flow of water and how the public access routes into the open space. There's a very direct connection between the two, and so we've had a lot of success with sort of trying to explore that as a possible approach going forward. In this particular, the next slide that looks at the daylighting corridor itself, which is next to the Alston Library, again, we've looked at options for making the daylighting happen as a part of this landscape, which is currently very sort of paved. But if you look at the next slide, which is right underneath, you could create a really lovely connection to the river from this public area. Again, in terms of what's currently happening with the Harvard plan, as you might have read in the newspapers, things are on hold on the planning part of it, but we've already seen some good signs. If you look at the January 2007 master plan that Harvard had to what they proposed in October 2008, which is the next slide, they're already you're seeing signs of much more emphasis being laid on the public realm.
Much more green.
Oh yeah.
Very clear, much more green.
Yeah, and you can see specific nodes where a lot of green infrastructure thinking has gone into sort of this plan going forward. And our hope is that whenever Harvard is able to complete their master planning process, that they really do a lot with green streets and putting in green infrastructure in North Alston. They specifically looked at the South District Greenway, which is this particular connection between the neighborhood going all the way through the Charles, but there's some work still needs to be done, which addresses the parklands themselves a little more directly than what they've been able to in the past. And we've also looked at some planter prototypes that Harvard has actually constructed. And the idea is for these planters to work for stormwater quality treatment.
And so then the water will be released gradually.
Exactly. And so the idea is to have these kind of prototypes line your main streets and actually have demonstration projects for green streets happen in North Alston in the near future. So we are really hopeful in terms of when this actually
So maybe the delay might help to build more awareness. So
absolutely.
So more education.
That's definitely our hope. It's just finding the capital sort of to make its way to these green infrastructure strategies, which is key. So with that, I feel like the next slide basically looks at how these restoration opportunities can be implemented. Not only are we talking about putting in these strategies as a part of the Harvard master plan, but also looking at the community-wide planning that the BRA is organizing right now. And the idea is
the Boston Redevelopment Authority.
That's right.
And I'm sure what you're developing in North Alston can also help other Boston Redevelopment Authority projects.
Absolutely.
Because that's applicable in many parts of the city. You're doing it also in the North Point area, the Longwood area.
Yeah, we've actually been working with the City of Boston out in Peabody Square in Dorchester, which is actually not a part of our watershed, but we are actually working with them to build the first pilot Green Street project there. So definitely there's a lot that can be applied to the entire city when you look at looking at sub-watersheds per se in the urban area. So, and then in terms of the next steps for building blue cities, we do a lot of demonstration projects, as I mentioned. We are working out in Blackstone. We do a lot of site visits for municipal officials to take them to places where...
Education.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a big part of our work. And the idea is to make these technologies as available and applicable to different parts of the watershed as possible. And then with that, I think...
And you have some two little creatures here.
That's right.
Tell us about them.
Friends. These are river otters, which were spotted by our volunteers out in the river while they were sampling. And this indicates that the river is getting healthier. It's definitely getting much more diverse fauna than it's ever had before. And so we are really happy about them. And
good. Now, and the next image of wants to thank the Boston Foundation that right? makes your study possible. They also make these television programs possible. Yeah, and also the Boston Foundation is funding the effort for a swimmable Charles. That's something we're working together.
Yep.
And thanks to the help of Representative Alice Wolf, there's now a Charles River Water Quality and Swimming Bill, yes. Which was enacted just the beginning of the year. So I hope that you will have a chance to maybe see that in a rerun or on a YouTube, because you gave us a lot of information. Thank you very much, Pallavi. That was great. And do you want to just say the website for CRWA?
Yes, it's www.crwa.org. That's crwa.org.
So that's a place to find more information about the other aspects of your work and about this wonderful work. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Renata.
And I hope that you go and enjoy the Parklands. This was the Charles River Conservancy Parkland show. And I wish you a good night.
Good night. Thank you.